Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive. This week, I'm talking about an interesting board game. The concept behind it is the last 15 minutes of your favorite sci-fi show, and things are bad. How bad are they? Your engines are offline, your weapon systems are offline, your shields are offline, and the captain is dead. Yes, that's right. I'm talking about the game that's the start of a trilogy of games. I'm talking about the Kickstarter version. I know that there were other versions printed up later, but as I said, I'm talking about the Kickstarter version, the version I have. And this is a frustrating but fun game. I have never actually beaten it. This is a cooperative game, but it's a case of, as it goes on, things continue to get worse from your starting position. And so, it's a really tricky game to win. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy as I talk about The Captain is Dead, and Worf is in charge. So, here I have the board all set up for the actual start of the game. You have here the alerts, yellow, orange, and red alert. As you go through the game, you go through the alerts, and as you go deeper into the alerts, the worse things get. These are the skill cards. These are the battle plans from the Captain's Journal. Now, when you do the initial setup, you put a blocking marker in front of engineering. You put shields at 100%. You are currently offline jump core. You put at the level of difficulty you're at. So at this point, I'm putting it at normal, the default difficulty. These are system upgrades. Normally they would go here, but I don't have room for that. The first thing you'll do is you draw 3 skill cards and you put them face up here. Then each color pawn actually represents a different sort of field. And for this, I'm just going to grab 3 different pawns. And as the players, first they start, you randomly hand out the pawns. And then the players start in each of the fields, in the color that matches their color pawn. And then they pick a role. Teleporter chief and chief engineer, for example, are options for the orange or engineering pawns. And I'm going to, in this case, take the chief engineer. The chief engineer has a maximum hand size for skills of 6, has 4 actions, and has a discount of 2 on anything requiring an engineering test, which means she only needs 3 engineering skills to do a repair on the jump core. Now I'm going to grab the yellow, who are in our armory, because I have a yellow, a purple, and an orange. Weapons officer or soldier. Let's see. Weapons officer has the option to fire a torpedo for 1 less action, or manufacture a torpedo for 1 less action. A soldier removes all hostile aliens in the current location for 1 action. Removes all hostile actions from any one location via the security terminal station for 1 action. I'm actually going to take the soldier because in previous games, the hostile aliens have been the bigger problem. And then I have the purple, which I have 3 options here. Medical officer may heal any player in the current location as a free action, then draw 1 random skill from the skill deck. And any player in the current location may heal for 1 action. The diplomat may override alerts on other players' turns, but may not use skill discounts when doing so. And counselor may exchange 1 skill in her hand with 1 skill in the discard pile for 1 action. She gets an extra action on her turn if another player is present in her location at the start of her turn. Well, you know what? Being able to customize her action pool sounds like a really good benefit, and getting an extra action, well, sure, I'm going to take the counselor. The next step is going to be, where is that? Is each that will deal 5 skill cards to each player. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then each player gets to choose 1 skill and put it with the tools in the cargo pod. So, engineer. Engineer's going to put a tactical skill in. My engineer now has 2 science, a tactical, and an engineering skill. My counselor. I'm also going to put a tactical skill in. So she'll have 3 science and a tactical skill. And my soldier is going to put a science in, so that she has a command, which she gets a discount on, and 3 tactical. At this point, the basic setup is done. And now, we do the horrible thing. We find out what's wrong with the ship. So we start with drawing alerts. We draw 5 alerts. Increase gravity. Move 1 space for 1 action instead of 2 spaces. Teleporter is unaffected. If this is a 2-player game, discard this card and draw another. This is an active anomaly, so we would put it here. Second yellow card, and we draw 5 of these. None of these can be overridden. Reduce shields by 10%. Internal sensors are offline. Discard the face-up skills attached to the internal sensors. Well, that sucks. So these now go into our discard pile. Which, by the way, actually is a good thing because of our counselor. And third, reduce shields by 10%. External scanners are offline. Discard all face-up alerts. So, this is a good thing because increased gravity is a face-up alert. And so it gets discarded. And external scanners are offline. Fourth alert. Torpedo tube is offline. All players in the armory are injured. So I am injured, and the torpedoes are offline. And the last one. Comm system offline. Where is comm system? Comm system is turned to offline. All players in the bridge, well, good thing there aren't any, are injured. So that is the initial start. Ta-da. Now just give me one quick check. I do love, the nice thing about this is it's not actually a very well organized book. Okay, so my opponent was injured. We lay them on the side to indicate that they are injured. And the only things that they can do are move, kill hostile aliens in their location, use the teleporter, or use the trauma station. All other activities are out of reach, as they're basically crawling along on their hands and knees. Now, you determine who goes first by rank. The lowest rank gets to go first. Which means the chief engineer gets to go first. And the chief engineer has 4 actions on every turn and a hand size of 6. Alright. Now, of course, you have to make sure each player has chosen their role. Whoever has the lowest rank number goes first. We've drawn our alerts. And then we begin the game. The first player will take their first turn. They may continue until they have spent all their actions. And basically the actions that they can do, almost all activities require you to spend actions. For example, yada yada. Number of actions is listed in your roll card. Most jury requires you to spend skills. One moment. Now, okay, you can move up to 2 spaces. You can kill a hostile alien. You can carry another player 1 space, or you can give a skill or tool to another player in your location, or take a skill or tool from another player in your location. Pretty much, there's not a whole lot of ways to get these fun things. Like, literally. So, for my first turn and my 4 actions, I don't have much I can do here. from my skills, so I am, however, going to set some stuff up. I'm going to teleport the soldier to the infirmary. That uses one of my actions. Now, I can't really do much there. However, we see our... Oh, I am going to teleport myself to the armory. I'm going to spend one action, and since I have a discount on it, I'm going to repair the torpedo tube. So that's my 3 actions. That's 3 of my 4 actions. And then I'm going to take a look at what else I have. And I am going to teleport to... Right, my last action, I'm going to teleport to the cargo hold. That is that first round of action for the chief engineer. The soldier is going to spend one action in the infirmary to heal herself. She is then going to spend one action to teleport herself to the bridge. And I forgot to do something on this turn. At the end of every player's turn, you draw an alert. Add 2 hostiles to the science lab. And all players in the science lab, well, fortunately there weren't any, are injured. But now coming back to this turn, so I've spent 2 of actions. I am going to spend 1 of my tactical to bring the, and 1 action to bring the comm systems back online. Now, with the comm system, I can give or take a skill from any other player, and it can be used from anywhere. Now, I am going to, let's see, I spent 2 of my 4 actions already. No, sorry, 3 of my 4 actions. My last action is I'm going to bring the external scanners online. So that discards all face-up alerts. And with the external scanners, this does not take an action. Reveal the top 2 alerts face up. And anomaly. And 3 hostile aliens in the computer core. That's not gonna be fun. But those are my next actions. Those are our next anomalies coming up, alerts coming up. And these go into the discard pile. Now we come to our wonderful counselor. Remember, I can exchange one skill in my hand with 1 skill in the discard pile. So, I am exchanging 1 science for an engineering. I am going to then use... that's my first action. My second action is to give my engineering to the chief engineer. Okay, now then, do I have anything else I can do that can be handled with moving? I do have two things I can do. I'm going to... the first action is transporting the engineer. No. Sorry. I am transporting myself to cargo hold. And I am now going to spend my last action and a tactical to repair internal sensors. So, as soon as I bring it online, I draw and replenish the top 3 skills face up. Okay. Now, I draw my alert. Anomaly. Now, anomalies stay in play until researched in the science lab. So that means I have to come here and spend 4 research bubbles. Okay. Now we come, and now we keep doing this. Moving around, trying to get skills. Basically, you draw a face-up skill here. So, here, I'm going to spend an action to draw one of those face-up skills. And then, I'm going to teleport to here. I'm going to... that's my second action. And then my remaining 2 actions are going to be to spend 2 actions and 3 of these, discarding those, to replenish, to do the first repair on the jump core. And that's the end of my turn, and so I would draw, and I put 3 hostile aliens in the CPU. And of course that is no one has 3 command, so it comes to our soldier's turn. Well, basically how you lose the game is your shields drop to 0. You run out of these guys to play. And when you get to the red alerts are bad things, and they kill you quickly. And this game continues like this. You're rushing around, you're trying to get things repaired. So what I would do here with my soldier is my soldier is going to use the transporter, come here. So that's one action. Their second action is going to be they're going to remove all the aliens here. Alright, their third action is going to be to jump here. And then their fourth action is to remove these aliens. Because of their wonderful special, removes all hostile aliens in the current location for one action. Okay, then they will draw. Whenever the shields take 10 damage, increase the damage by 10%. The ship remains in play. How I would deal with that is I would fire the torpedo tube to remove it. And that's probably not going to happen. We come to our diplomat's turn. So first, our diplomat is going to draw. Spend one action to draw. And then is going to spend their next 3 actions pulling the 3 engineering that should be in here. Oh, there they are. Into her hand. By basically, yeah. And that's her turn. And then so she draws another ship. And then we come back to our chief engineer's turn. Okay. Communications, give or take a skill to or from another player. So our engineer is going to spend 3 actions taking engineering. Of course, our engineer has 1 action left. She doesn't really have anything she can really do, except she's going to send her tactical skill to our soldier. That will end her turn, and ow, this is going to be bad. Adds 3 hostile aliens to engineering. At this point, the only thing that can be done in this room is use the teleporter or kill hostile aliens. There's no other options. But this is where I'm going to stop this discussion. Now that I've gone through a couple rounds of The Captain is Dead, I hope that gives people who might be interested in the game a little bit of a feel for it. Ironically, this has been the best go-through of that game I've actually seen happen when I've been playing it in various forms. I'm quite certain eventually, with the combination of characters taken, I might have actually beaten it. But then again, we hadn't gotten any events that were causing damage to the ship. I mean, even the last anomaly I drew was basically requiring that there be 2 players present in their location, with the exception of the science lab. So, yeah. That would probably have slowed it down because I'd have to be getting someone into that location, into the science lab, with the necessary science skills to go fix this. But ultimately, it's a fast-paced game. It might not have seemed it because I was just going over stuff. And I was having to pause at points to just look up the rules because I'm a bit rusty on it. And even though I'd read through them, it's not the most organized book. Or should I say, it's not intuitively organized for their rule book. But at the same time, it's a simple game, and the concept of it is cool as heck because it is not a competitive game. It is a cooperative game, and there aren't that many of those around that much. Or at least among board games. Most board games have a single winner. So that was The Captain is Dead. Next week, I'm going to talk about a casual card game from the legendary Skippy of Skippy's List. Red Shirts. Until then, I'd like you all to remember to have fun and keep gaming.